It's VivKB, and welcome to another edition of the VivKB Podcast. Once again, produced by my man Thorpe Films. Thorpe, quickly jump in. Look at this, he's got merch. Come in, man, he's got merch. He's got merch, the guy.
I'm on. Yeah.
You're on?
Yeah.
There we go. And today we have a very special guest. He is an absolute mogul of the anytime fitness industry, not only in Canberra, but now all across Australia. Mr. Tim Kanellopoulos, thank you so much for coming on, man.
Thanks for having me, guys.
No worries at all. I mean, this is really cool for me. I mean, how many times do we catch up for a 5-minute coffee that turns into a 5-hour conversation?
Yeah.
So
fairly regular.
So I have to apologise to all your gym managers, all the members who I take you away from. But I really enjoy every time we get to sort of sit down and chat. And doing this today, I think, will really give everyone else a bit of an insight on some of the great things that we've always talked about.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be great.
Cool. So let's get straight into it, man. Where'd you grow up?
I'm born in Wagga. So,
You're a Wagga boy?
Yep, Wagga boy.
Ah.
Yep, Wagga boy. Moved to Canberra when I was 7 and basically have been here ever since.
Well,
So-
what was the decision to move here? Was that parents?
Parents, yeah, just...
What do they do in Wagga?
takeaways. All we did here for... My old man did takeaways for 53 years at the end,
Wow.
before he retired. So,
Shit.
yeah, was quite good at it. Did very well out of it. So, yeah.
All right. So when you moved here, where'd you go to school?
I went to Fisher Primary.
Yeah.
Yep. Hated school.
Did ya?
Yeah, absolutely hated school from the very first day I went to the very last. Fisher Primary, Western Creek High, and then Sterling College. I did finish year 12,
Very good.
only because the parents made me. But
It seems to be the ethnic way, isn't it? You just got to make sure you finish
have
it.
to do it. Yeah.
Doesn't matter what you do, but for them, it's just that saving grace. As long as you finish school,
Yeah.
my son's all right.
In hindsight, I probably should have tried a little bit harder at school and maybe gone to uni and things would have been a little bit easier, but it is what it is. So, I'll say it to all you kids out there, go to school.
Right, so when you were at school, was that when you started training?
Yeah, I started training high school. I started playing football in high school, rugby league, when I was about 14, and we would go to the gym at Royals.
Yeah, right.
A little underground bunker that they have down there, homemade equipment. It was pretty cool.
So at 14 was your first experience with weights.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was pretty cool. I was always a big kid. I think I weighed about 100 kilos when I was 14. So I was a big kid. Do you know what I mean? Probably a little bit, on the heavier side, and like everybody, started lifting weights for that reason. Lose a bit of weight, tone up, that kind of thing. I always say, being in the industry for as long as I had, a couple of reasons why you join that gym. It's either put size on or take a little bit off.
Yeah.
The two biggest reasons why people join gyms.
Cool.
So-
So when you started training, who did you look up to? Was there someone that sort of...
I literally did what every bloke would back then, buy magazines.
What did you buy?
Iron Man, Muscle Mag, all those things. Bought the Encyclopedia of Modern Bodybuilding by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Everybody else still got it at home.
I think it's a staple for everyone.
It is. So, had a little home gym under my house for a while and trained there for about 2 years. Just the basic bench press, dumbbells, barbell, that kind of stuff. And then went and joined Harry's when I was just 17.
Yeah, right. What was that
So-
experience like signing up at a gym?
Signing up at Harry's was quite interesting, and I actually use it with my managers all the time, because I remember walking up those stairs, musty little carpet and all that kind of stuff. All you could hear was the metal weights clanking, and you're thinking, where the hell am I going? So I walked up the stairs, Harry's sitting there eating, and I just said, I'd like to join the gym, and he's literally pushed the form in front of me and goes, fill this in. So I'm sitting there filling it in, And then he goes to me, I don't know, it's a couple of $100, wasn't very much back then. And I gave him the money, he literally gave me a little laminated card and went, gym's over there. That was my induction. That was it. I must admit, it was a great gym. The big guys were all very friendly. They could see what you wanted to do, it's where...
What year was this?
I reckon this was 90, 89 or 90, so quite a while ago. Yeah.
So that experience was...
I would have been about 16 or 17 at that time. Yeah.
Right. Was that an intimidating experience getting to the gym the first time?
It was. First few times was, but I'd go every day. And I think after a few weeks where they see you in there every day, they'd start talking to you. I'd be the guy that try to deadlift every day type thing, you know, and then they'd be looking at you going, hey, you probably shouldn't be doing this, you know. They'd steer you in the right direction. It was never like intimidating as in, it was intimidating because you didn't know them. Once you got to know them, they were all very friendly, and, you know, I still talk to some of the old guys still to this day.
Did anyone sort of take you under their wing when you started?
Not as much. I then started working doors when, as soon as I hit 18, I got a job as a doorman, obviously a big guy. So I started working at the ANU bar, and from then I went into a couple of bars in the city, and then went into Manuka, started my own security company, and like had guys under me and stuff like that. Looked after someone else and UC and lots of places.
Yeah, right.
So yeah. So back then, Gabby Bunya was a big part of it. Stan Platus, Steph Bachelet's that used to own Bodyworks. Trained with all those guys when I got into my powerlifting phase, trained with those guys a lot. That's probably who pushed me into the powerlifting side. Still talk to all the guys now, you know, still pretty good mates with all of them.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about powerlifting. When was the decision to take that on?
I competed as a bodybuilder as a teenager, I think it was 91.
Right, so bodybuilding
came first, you know.
What was that experience like?
That was great, loved it, you know. I'd like to say I won my first comp, but I was the only person in it as a teenager, so...
Intro mile, intro mile.
Well, you know, I could say I won, but I was the only one, so yeah, I won. The great thing there was Dorian Yates had just won his first Mr. Olympia, and he was the guest poser.
Wow.
So you got me like this skinny, well, I wasn't skinny, but this little fella, like 18-year-old, and you got Dorian Yates pumping up next to you. And we were just like, holy, you know, look at the size of this guy. And it was so eye-opening, you know. He was great, he was awesome.
How much did you weigh in your first competition?
I think I was literally like 98 kilos.
98, and what did you start your off-season at?
Probably about 110, 115.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I would stay, like as a bodybuilder, I'd stay relatively lean. But I quickly discovered my Greek roots came out and I liked food too much.
I was actually going to ask you 2 questions to go off that. What was the dieting like?
Yeah.
What was the dieting like for it?
The dieting is tough. I still find dieting tough.
Yeah.
You know, like I enjoy food. I'm the first one to admit it. It's why I train. Yeah. I love the training part of it, but it's the only reason I do cardio.
Yeah.
Because I like food.
That's
you know?
it.
So, yeah.
So my follow-up to that was, being a fellow ethnic myself, what were your parents like when you decided you want to do bodybuilding competition?
At the start, we're all like freaks.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they look at you and they think, why do you want to lift weights? Like, you know. But I must admit, my man did let me run with it. He paid for my first gym membership. He'd always, you know, like, help me out if I wanted to buy supplements and stuff like that. So he was very good to me. Like, he was never anti.
Yeah.
You know, because I suppose you could see it was something that kept me away out of trouble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I didn't like school, I suppose I could have easily gone down the wrong path. Yeah. And this kept me in straight and narrow. Like, I'd be in the gym 5 days a week.
That's awesome.
You know, so.
Yeah, I think that's what it is for a lot of ethnic parents. I know with my dad, the first time I told him I was going to compete, I was like, Dad, I want to go on stage, I want to do this bodybuilding thing, and you're going to be okay with it. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Okay.
I mean, if you want to go be stupid and have no, mind, no brains, it's okay. Go and have no brains. You don't care that I have no brains and say I'm going to do this bodybuilding thing? No, I care. I think you're an idiot. But go. Like,
that's right.
That's how you learn.
It is how you learn.
But it's cool that they were supportive of that. Now, the bodybuilding, how many shows was it?
I literally did 2 shows. I did one when I was 18 and one when I was 20 or 19, just before 20.
Yep.
I think. So, went in as a novice in that one and came second. So,
cool.
Yeah.
And is that sort of after that experience you realised probably you wanted to...
I had all intentions of getting on stage again, but then I would change gyms like purposely in Canberra. Canberra had like 5 gyms at the time, 4 or 5 gyms. And I'd literally change gyms every 2 years.
What were the gyms around then?
So you had Harry's, you had, it had turned into Body Connection by then, like a couple of years in. You had Southlands, which turned into Bodyworks. Mm-hmm. And then you had like the guys up in Queanbeyan, you had
The hot bod?
Yeah, what was it? Oddbods?
Oddbods, sorry.
Oddbods in Queanbeyan. You had guys over in Belconnen, Still City. Mm-hmm. You know, and that was pretty much it. You had a couple of little, you know, and Deacon Hellspa.
Right.
Yeah. So I did literally train at all of them for a little while. My last stint was, I did my biggest stint probably at Deacon Hellspa, and from Deacon Hellspa I went across to Southern Cross. That's when Southern Cross opened. So, and I literally stayed at Southern Cross for close to 10 years.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been being 16 years old seeing you at Southern Cross.
Yeah, Southern Cross was an awesome gym.
It was, yeah.
And I can honestly say the only reason I left Southern Cross is because I bought any times. You know, so that was it.
When did powerlifting play its role?
Literally after my second comp, at that time I was training at Bodyworks, which was Southlands, and obviously Steph that owned that was a very big powerlifter. So being a fellow Greek, they were all, you know, after hours powerlifting and stuff like that. So they kind of took me under their wing. A very good friend of mine, Carl Heath, also worked there. So we kind of just got to know the guys and really got into the powerlifting thing. Nothing I took very seriously. Did a couple of very little, you know, local comps here. And yeah, you know what, I'm pretty strong and all that, but I'm not astronomical
What were your biggest lifts, if you don't mind me asking?
I think I've done a 280 deadlift, probably very close to the same bench. My bench was always pretty good.
Yeah, wow.
Like a 300 kilo squat. So
big numbers.
Yeah, they were big numbers, but I was a big guy, you know. So, and I still am. I can still bench a couple 100 kilos now, and I'm 45. Okay. So
I don't think this translates to the camera. You're also very tall. So
I'm literally just under 6'4". I'm 190 centimeters.
Yeah, because my best friend Mark benches I think 140, squats close to 200, deadlifts about 200.
Yep.
I think I'd be doing the same thing if I was that short as well.
Yeah.
But because I'm at least
I've trained with the same guy for 20 years.
Yeah.
And Derek, Polish fella, he's nuts.
Yeah.
Just strong as an ox, as most Polish people are.
Yeah.
So I've just struggled my whole life to keep up with him.
Yeah.
You know, for a guy that can do a 60 kilo dumbbell press, shoulder press, and make it look easy. You know, and I'm still, 40s and 50s, and think, fuck, I've got to do these 60s now because he's done it. You know? So, I always say, if you're training with someone and you're stronger than them, you need a new training partner.
I think Mark and I have had our gym breakup. I think I'm just not strong enough to keep up with you. I need someone new.
You know, or you know how they say, if you're the strongest guy in the gym, you're in the wrong gym?
Yeah, totally. Well, let's actually talk about it. What was the gym scene like in your youth when you were doing the bodybuilding and power?
I loved it. The gym scene was amazing back then. Everyone was pretty friendly. Once they got to know you, once they knew you were pretty serious about it, everybody shared everything, told you what they would do, you tell them what you were doing. You know, you could bounce ideas off it. It was a very small scene, but...
Yeah, well, you're saying there's only about 5 gyms at the time.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of rivalry between, north side, south side, but that's normal. It wasn't serious. But the comps would get... I remember the comp that my first comp where Dorian Yates turned up to had 2,000 people out at the lakeside.
Yeah, right.
Nuts on a Friday night type thing, so just big comps. But it's still not as big as it is today.
Yeah,
the industry today is amazing.
Well, before we get into that, just what was it like working for your old man? Because obviously, you've done so well in small business now.
I worked for my old man for 22 years.
Yeah, right.
With him, and I loved every minute of it. I'd be lying if I tell you we didn't argue.
Yeah.
The old man taught me a lot of things. Literally.
What did your old man own? Just finding
takeaways. Always in fast food.
Yeah.
Typical Greek type thing. And we've done very well out of it. I can honestly say we've done very well out of it. He taught me a lot of good things, like we'd argue about business and he'd say to me, you know what, we're not going to agree with this one, just don't worry about it, it's got nothing to do with us, it's just business. So I'd learned to push that aside, which is a great thing now. My business partner now is my wife. So to take that to her and just say, hey, I'm going to see it my way, you're going to see it your way, but it's got nothing to do with us. As a couple type thing. So it does diffuse a lot of situations. Business is it's not for everyone. It's pretty hard. I always say to people, if you don't want to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, just go get a job. It's easier. You've got to love it. Yeah. And it's not the money. you don't do it for the money, you just do it because you want to. You know, it's what you enjoy. I've never had a boss. I've never worked for someone. You know, but since I was a young kid, I've always done my own thing.
You feel like you've always worked with your old man?
Yeah, worked with an old man. Like, I had a boss, I suppose, when I was a doorman, but even then, a few years in, started my own security company.
Yeah.
You know, so I've always tried to do my own thing. So.
What was the decision to start your own security company?
I just saw a hole in the market.
Yeah.
You know, everyone was trying to run their own nightclubs, everyone was trying to run their own thing. And you thought, it's got to be an easier way. Yeah. You know, these nightclub owners would much rather ring one person and say, hey, I need 5 guys this tonight, you know, not try to ring 10 guys to get 5.
Yeah.
So it was just a hole in the market.
So was that your first small business?
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Well, going from that to where you are now, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
What was the decision to one day want to own a gym?
I've wanted to own a gym since I was 15 years old.
It's a dream, right?
It's a dream. It's everybody's dream, isn't it? Like, you know, if you've lifted weights and you don't want to own a gym, I don't think you're quite right. Everyone wants to own a gym. So I wanted to get out of the takeaways. My old man was close to retirement age, and I thought, you know what, he's not going to retire unless I move on. You know, because we enjoyed being there together every day and all that kind of stuff, and it was great. But I thought he was turning 70, and I thought he's got to have a little bit of fun. So I started buying, I bought my first Anytime. So I bought my first Anytime in 2014.
Explain that process.
So obviously I knew a few of the Anytime guys, being from Southern Cross. So obviously knew Richard quite well, knew Gary from Queanbeyan quite well, and some of the other guys. I worked with Gary on doors for lots of years, and we spoke about it, and he said, you know, it's a good thing, get onto it. I did look at lots of other franchises, service stations, McDonald's, lots of them, but I thought, you know what, Anytime looks like a good one. It's a gym, it's one of my biggest dreams. And the intention was never to own lots of them.
Yeah.
You know, it was, we started with one, started with Charnwood, and I did the numbers, the wife did the numbers, we thought, yeah, we can make a living out of this.
So Charnwood was the first thing.
Charnwood was the first Anytime.
Did you ever want to do, like, I was talking to Billy Giampaolo a couple of weeks ago about like the idea of a full service gym. Obviously elite physique at the time being something like that. So you got into a franchise. What was the reason to pick a franchise over starting something from scratch?
Most of my business decisions are quite well thought out. Like, I'm a guy that will sit down with an accountant and say, these are my thoughts, what are yours, you know, that kind of thing. Why try to reinvent the wheel when it's already invented?
Totally.
With Anytime, like I sat down and looked at Anytime and I thought, they're the biggest in the world. Like, why would I try to reinvent that?
Start King's Gym.
Yeah, exactly. You know, what can I offer that they can't, type thing. And that's what I'll say to any small business person that says, you know, like I said in Canberra all the time, I'm going to open a coffee shop, and you think, what's the difference between you and the other 4,000 coffee shops? You all sell coffee.
Yeah.
Your coffee might be a little bit better in your own opinion, but at the end of the day, it's coffee. As I say to even my own franchisees around me, 30 kilo dumbbells or 30 kilo dumbbell. Doesn't matter what colour the gym is outside, it's a dumbbell.
Yeah.
You know, it's the service we provide and how we provide it and what we can give people. I don't think having one gym under one banner is enough anymore. Like, people expect to be able to, like, with Anytime I say, you know, the fact that you can train at 4,000 gyms across the world, it's pretty cool. And I do it, I travel a fair bit. I always find Anytime to train that, I make quite purpose of doing it. So, you know.
Well, so this is 2014,
2014.
Right? How many gyms were around at that time?
I reckon Canberra would have had about 80 gyms by that time.
Okay, how many of them were Anytimes?
Back then, I think we had 14 Anytimes.
Right, so 14 Anytimes and you come in.
Yeah.
So you started with Charnwood. How did that go? Like, day one, open the doors?
Day one, I opened the doors, it was awesome. Loved it. You know, you do your training with Anytime. They do teach you a fair bit. They do throw into you like pretty intensive 1 week, 7-day training. You know, literally you're in there from morning to night.
Yep.
You know, night times are spent with them as well. You go out for dinner with them and they talk to you about more gym stuff. That's all you do.
Cool.
So you have a person that backs you up all the time. So it's really a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It's a great franchise, and I say only because the people that run it are just as passionate as I suppose we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I love it.
Well, let's talk about being, like, you're a gym owner now.
Yep.
Day one, Charnwood's open, everyone's used their fobs, no one's got in for free.
Yep.
They scanned in. What's that feeling like going from gym member Tim to now gym owner Tim?
It was an eye-opener, because as much as you think, oh yeah, this is all I need X amount of members, but you don't realise that as quick as you're putting them in the top, they're coming out the bottom. You're losing them. So it was an eye-opener, it was a big learning curve. But if you're willing to learn, like with any business, you've just got to be willing to learn. Like, as much as I thought I knew business, well, learning gyms was a completely different thing again.
What were some of the struggles you found when you first opened?
Probably the biggest struggles I've always found is staff. Staff that believe in it the way you do. You get good staff, they come and go and all that. You get some amazing staff, but the industry's we churn them through quite quickly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just the way the industry
Well, the industry's pumping, isn't it?
That's right, it is. It really is. But that's fine. Like, there's always someone to replace someone and all that kind of stuff. Everybody's replaceable. I say to my guys, everybody's replaceable, even I'm replaceable. Someone might buy my gyms off me one day and you'll have to deal with someone else.
That's a plug there, so if anyone's got a couple of bills, Alright, so let's talk about that. So Charnwood set up.
Charnwood set up.
When did Dixon come to play?
Dixon came in about 4 months later.
Right.
Crazy. And it was literally like, there's another one for sale in Canberra, should we have a look at?
Right, so explain that, because I mean, for most people, they only spend about 3 years sort of tuning, one small business to try and get it to where it is.
Yeah, I know.
Then make a decision either way.
A little bit crazy. I suppose Charnwood did very well. I bought Charnwood off a guy that ran a pretty tight ship. He ran a really good gym, and it was all great. So it was like, I thought, this is easy. Dixon, on the other hand, was a little bit different. I wouldn't go to the point to say it was run down, but it was a little bit neglected. So you had a couple in there that were obviously getting separated and stuff like that, and no one really cared about it, and it was starting to show.
Yeah.
So we took that one over, and it was a little bit more difficult to change the culture in it and all that kind of stuff.
What was the transition like?
We just had to literally start from fresh. So new manager, new PTs, new everything. So literally wipe the slate clean.
Were there already managers?
There was a manager in there.
So that must have been a tough decision to sort of...
It was a tough decision. It wasn't terribly tough because he wasn't terribly happy in the position. So it was a little bit mutual. Like, I would never fire someone without knowing them. I always, every gym I've ever bought, I've always given the manager that's in there a go. But the first day we literally took over, he sat us down and said, listen, I don't want to do this. Fair enough. Looks fine, yeah. So I still talk to the guy. We're quite good friends and all that kind of stuff. Like, he still trains at the gym. So
now you've got the two. How did you find balancing the two? Because I assume Charnwood was doing pretty well.
Charnwood was doing well. Dixon, at the start, Dixon was a little bit tougher, but it was just little things that needed to be brought back into line, and it got on track pretty quick.
Yeah.
So we were sitting there, my wife Lorena and I, obviously business partners in this. So we were sitting there and we thought, all right, next step, we're probably ready to take on another one. This was probably, we had ended up with 3 gyms in 9 months of starting.
It's kind of like gambling.
It is.
You don't know what's going to work. You start winning, you keep going.
Yeah. The third one was the biggest gamble because the third one is 4.5 hours away.
Where was the fourth
in
one?
Victoria, in Wangaratta.
Right.
So my thinking behind that one was, if we can make this one work that far away, we can do anything.
It's like Superman. So when Wangaratta came up, was that already an established?
It was already an established gym. It was 2.5 years old. Okay. So it was a good little gym. Wangaratta's a nice little town. 20,000 people. We're the only 24-hour gym in town. Well, we were at the time. Now we're not. But we were at the time. Very little competition. Great little gym. It's 850 metres, so it's actually a good size. Mm-hmm. It's probably one of the bigger any times around.
Yeah.
And for me, it was more that. It was like, can we make this work being 4.5 hours away? The first few months was pretty tough because between me and the wife, one of us would be there every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So you know.
And you had your kids at this time?
Yeah, I had kids at this time. My kids at the time, I think my kids were, when we bought our first anytime, were like 13, 14 and 10ish, 9 and 10. So the girls are now 18 and 14 type thing. So yeah.
So that no doubt would have been a challenge, with it being so far away. Now, I assume that challenge went well.
That challenge went very well. And we just found it was like anything else. If you've got the right people in place and you trust them, and I always say to my gym managers, run this gym like it's your own. You don't have to ask everything, you've got to use your own common sense. So I got given a very good point by a friend of mine many years ago, a businessman, owned many restaurants in Australia, throughout Australia. And he said to me, Tim, if your businesses can run it, he goes, if your business, when you're in it, he goes, when you're in your takeaway, he goes, your business ran at 100% because you were there. He goes, you controlled everything, you controlled how the cleaning went, how customer service went, how everything went. He goes, you were in. He goes, but you were there. It was like a four-wall jail.
Yeah.
Jail with a door that you could walk out of.
Kind of jail.
Cool kind of jail.
Right.
So that went well. So he would tell me, if you're going to expand, he goes, and they can run at 85 to 90%, he goes, you're doing very well. They're never going to be you, but you've got to find the right people that have your beliefs, see your vision. So that's the main thing.
Yeah, have that level of passion, I guess.
Yes, pretty much.
So we're at 3 gyms now.
We're at 3 gyms now.
Now, no more have been in Canberra. These have all been interstate, correct?
Correct.
Talk about the others that have opened up interstate.
I'll talk about why I haven't done more in Canberra. I just find Canberra very saturated. We have, I think on my last count, there's probably between 110 and 115 gyms in Canberra.
And I remember you calling me and telling me this. So you've come into this industry with there's 5.
Yeah.
You close your eyes, you wake up, there's over 100, and you go, huh.
Yeah, wow, what the
hell? What happened?
Now, I'll be the first to admit, there's a lot more people training. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? The fact of where our industry's going is amazing. It excites me every day. I love nothing more than walking into a gym and seeing, some little skinny guy wanting to deadlift or a girl wanting to deadlift and stuff like that. Like, the way our industry's gone is amazing. Yeah. Our industry's never been healthier.
Yeah.
I could sit there and say it was better when, blah, 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 but it wasn't. Yeah. The industry's the biggest it's ever been, and it'll only keep growing. It probably won't keep growing to the rate we saw in the last 10 years when we got the 24-hour gym explosion and stuff like that, but it will still keep growing. And I put that down to a lot of us will start living in apartments, we don't have yards to run around in, we don't have, and the fact that most apartments have a gym around the corner from them or a gym in them.
Yeah, that's very true.
So we use them.
No, I wholeheartedly agree with you right now on basically all those parts of it.
Yeah.
So you decide no more in Canberra, the market's kind of saturated. When was the next gym?
The next gym after Wangaratta was Wagga.
Right.
So...
And this is 1 out of 2 in Wagga.
Yeah, well we bought both in Wagga.
Yeah.
So Wagga was basically for me, we either buy both or we don't buy either one.
Did you buy both at the same time?
Yeah, both at the same
time.
time.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so we bought both at the same time. Bit of a package deal. And my crazy thinking behind that is it's on its way to Wangaratta. So that's how I justified it.
Just leaving sort of,
literally like I can drive off the highway, get to Wagga, and then I drive back onto the highway and get to Wangaratta. That was my thinking behind it. Makes it a big day. It's about 1,000 k's when I do it there and back in the day.
Thank God for the petrol car, right?
Yeah, and about nearly 10 hours on the road, but it's all right.
Right, so that's 5.
Yep, that's 5.
Keep going, my friend.
5. 6th one was, again, a little bit of a... I tend to find myself in these positions. So we've just done a refresh to the gym in Charnwood, our 5-year refresh that we do at any time.
Looks great, by the way.
Yeah. Thank you. So I pride myself in how I do refreshes and stuff. So we've done the refresh, and I'm sitting there with one of our equipment manufacturers, and he goes to me, have you thought of Ulladulla, Tim? And I went, no, why would I? And he goes to me, it's for sale. And I said, yeah, I've seen it. I said, it's too much money. I said, I'm not interested, And he goes, no. He goes, you should be interested. He goes, you'll get it for a good price. And I went, okay. So At no time at that time was I really looking for a sixth gym. I knew, like, I had a number in my head. I wanted 10 in 10 years. I'm well and truly ahead of myself. I'm 6 at 5 years. At the end of this year will be 5 for us. So I've pushed that number to 15 in 10 years now. So anyway, we won't worry about that. I'll probably give the wife a heart attack when she hears that. So I literally just rang the wife and I said, hey, spoken to this guy. I won't name names. And I said, spoken to this guy, $100 for sale, reckons we can get it for a good price. I said, this is the price he's quoted. And she went, okay, no worries, leave it with me. Not thinking anything would happen, like, you know, she's usually the one that reins me in. About 30 minutes later, she goes, we own $1 now. And I went, oh great, huh? Cool. So that one put a little bit of a spanner in my works because it's the opposite direction of where I'm normally going, but it doesn't matter. I'm quite enjoying it. Just finished a refresh at that one down there.
Cool.
So we redone the whole gym, and it's a cool little gym.
So that's where we are now.
Well, that's where we are right
bringing
now.
us back to reality.
Yeah,
that's where we are.
Reality now is 6 gyms across 3 states.
Yeah, how are you finding balancing that?
I must admit at the start, when we first took over Ulladulla, it threw a bit of a spanner in my works. I thought, ooh, maybe I've bitten off a little bit more than I can chew here. But I quickly regrouped and sat down and thought, okay, it's all about the staff again. It's all about getting them all on the same page and, you know, that kind of thing. So it's all going well. Like, at the moment, it's all going quite good.
You know, I was talking to Nick Butzos, we both know very well. Mm-hmm. I remember when I was sort of getting into my business, you know, he'd always tell me, like, you know, Viv, you should do it by yourself.
Yep.
And I'd say, you know, oh, Nick, I don't really feel comfortable doing that. I feel like I need a business partner, someone who, you know, can carry my weaknesses,
yep.
or I'm strong, blah, 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 blah. And he goes, Viv, in life, I believe you should only have one partner, and that's your wife.
Yep, yep.
Now, your business partner is your wife.
Mm-hmm, it is.
That's it's pretty it's a dynamic duo, isn't
I'm very lucky in the fact that I'm not formally educated. So year 12 was it for me. My wife, on the other hand, is incredibly educated.
Yes.
Like masters in management, degrees in business. We're talking like multiple degrees. So her knowledge of how to run a business far outweighs mine. I'm definitely the passion. I'm definitely, you know, and my wife, when she first moved into this game with me and literally bit the bullet with me, wouldn't have known a leg press from a lat pull down.
Yeah.
At the moment, she knows it all. Like, now she knows it all, and trust me, and she even she's trained herself now, and like, you know, she quite enjoys the whole industry and sees what it is. But at the start, it was literally just a business venture. Perfect example to show anyone that if you're business-minded, you can make anything work. Because it was literally like she knew nothing about it, but it was business for her.
So was she as hungry, as driven as you were when it came to the gym, or was she one of the ones that looked at other ventures ahead of that going, maybe we
had looked at other ventures, and as I said to you, I sat down with my accountant and, you know, and I said, these are my ventures, these are what I'm thinking of looking at, and we all came to terms with any time was the best one there.
Right.
The returns anytime give you like quite amazing type thing.
And I think you were saying a bit off camera as well that you do get a lot of support from
we do.
You know, head office and whatnot.
We do get a lot of support from head office and all that kind of stuff, and even the other guys here in Canberra. When I first turned up, I was a newbie and all that, and they helped me out lots. You know, some of the other franchisees in Canberra have been in it since it started.
Yeah.
So for 10 years type thing. So.
How long has any time been in Australia for?
10 years. 10 years last year.
Oh, right. 10
years. Yep.
So. Well, you got it pretty fresh. That's midway through.
Yeah, midway through I got in. So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, one question I did want to ask you is almost the industry in Canberra now. Like we just mentioned that there are so many gyms.
Yep.
It's saturated beyond belief. You can't go a kilometre almost without seeing
multiple gyms.
Yeah, multiple gyms.
Multiple gyms.
That's totally true, isn't it? Now, Club Lime are expanding like crazy here in
Wildfire,
Canberra.
yeah.
Do you think Anytime has missed a gap in the market for Club Lime to open as so many as these, or do you think it's the fact that they are owned by one person?
I think the fact that they're owned by one person helps him immensely. The fact that there are no multiple decisions to be made, it's one person making a decision. It's like me and my gyms. Like if I make a decision for mine, it goes across all 6.
Yep.
There's no, you guys do this for marketing, you do this for marketing. It's like, we all do the same thing, we all have the same meetings. So it's a much more streamlined process. The one thing we're finding hard in Canberra is the fact that I think we've got about 7 or 8 owners in Canberra. To get 7 or 8 people to agree to something is quite a difficult thing. So he definitely has that, but there's definitely enough there for all of us. I probably feel a little bit more for the local, like the little fella that's trying to start his own PT studio or, his own like little warehouse gym and stuff like that, because nothing in the gym industry is cheap.
That's true.
Do you know what I mean? Like treadmills aren't, nothing's cheap. And if we was to sit down and talk prices, I reckon most people would probably fall off their chairs. It costs hundreds of thousands of dollars to set up a gym. So to think that, like Tim's gym was going to get 2,000 members, I was kidding myself. It was not going to happen. And especially in today's, like how many gyms there are out there, people have so much choice. So why should they come to me?
How often do the 7 owners in Canberra sort of meet up?
We get together once a month.
Okay.
Yep.
And you sort of discuss...
discuss everything. Yeah.
Does having, owning multiple gyms give you a bit more of a say with what you try and push? Because you're like, I'll say this now and I hope I'm not offending and I don't mean to at all, but you are still very passionate about the industry.
Love the industry, yeah.
I can see from the way you interact with your members, to your managers, to Joe, anyone, you're super passionate about it. I find sometimes people come into the industry from a business standpoint rather than a passion standpoint. And I don't feel like the fitness industry is one where you can make educated decisions without having that passion.
Probably could, maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah.
When the first 24-hour thing started taking off, you could have literally opened a shed with equipment in it 24 hours and it would have worked. The fact that everyone's 24 hours now is no longer a selling point.
Yeah.
It's what you expect out of a gym.
Well, it's like a phone with a camera now, right?
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. So, if someone goes, is your gym not 24 hours, they're usually like, why? Where's the problem here? So, and the funny thing is, like, do we need 24-hour gyms? Probably not. But we have them, so now, we do need them.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you a funny story, guys. I was sitting in Greece literally 18 months ago. My dad comes from a village of 180 people. I've got an uncle there, my dad's brother, that's never left Greece. Does very rarely ventures out of his little village there. Anyway, I'm trying to explain to him what I do for a living. We're talking about like an olive farmer here, so he's grown olives and lemons and stuff like that his whole life. So I'm sitting there and I'm going to my own 24-hour gyms, and he's like, but why are they 24 hours? And I'm like, because that's what people want. He goes, but why does someone need to train at 3 o'clock in the morning? And I said, because people are shift workers, or they'll get up early, busy lives, they think this is important to them. I just don't get it. So as much as, until you've lived it, until you've had it, you can't explain to someone. But can we take it away now? No. I don't think we could ever lose the whole 24-hour thing now. It's just something that's embedded in us.
Technology is evolution, right?
It is. It's pure evolution, pure technology.
You don't want to go back.
Take away your smartphone now. Give me another one again. Good luck with that.
Cool. So, going back, that there are, like you said, multiple owners of the Anytimes here in Canberra. Do you guys all sort of try and push the same agenda? So let's say one gym's struggling in Canberra, do you guys support?
We try to, like everybody tries to. We're lucky in Canberra. Canberra's a very healthy industry. The fitness industry in Canberra has 100 and so many gyms for a reason. People have a little bit more income in Canberra. Canberra's a good city, good affluent city. Most people have jobs. We don't have the problems that say Sydney does or Melbourne does and places like that. No one is really, there are low income earners in Canberra, and I'm not going to sit there and tell you people don't do it tough, because they do, but it's not a minority, it's a minority, it's not a majority type thing. So we're very lucky in that. Canberra's great, Canberra is good, but you pay for being in Canberra. Everything's more expensive in Canberra.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Well, you say 10 years back is sort of when Anytime started. Were they the first 24 hours?
They were the first. I think the first 24-hour gyms in Australia were the Dowdy's gyms in Melbourne.
Yep.
But as they are still now, they're staffed 24 hours.
Right.
So there's someone waiting for you 24 hours a day.
Yeah. Right. that's 10 years ago. We're here now. Where do you see the industry in 5 to 10 years? Do you guys have meetings about that, or even try and think about it?
Yeah, you do. And I think basically where our industry will go is just technology will take over. We'll get to a point where all our routines, all our programming will be on our phones. Everything we do will be on our phones. We'll be able to scan our machines and, the days of a training diary are well and truly gone, let's be honest. Which is sad, because I think I've still got mine from the back in the day. And I think just as technology goes, and the gap of training outside and inside will kind of get smaller. I think people will find that we will get more active and we will start doing things outside just as much. Now, can you ever replace like a dumbbell? Can you ever replace a barbell? Can you ever replace weights? I don't think so. I don't think you can replace resistance training. It's something that has to be there. How do you make a muscle bigger? You add resistance to it. It's the only way. So,
looking at the type of members you get, I know this is even just going back a couple of years. You'd have a specific bodybuilding gym, you'd have a powerlifting gym, you'd have a CrossFit gym. That anytime sort of tends to service everyone the best they can.
We try to service the best we can. Now, we do have some leeway in the way we do things. I know my own gyms are probably a little bit more focused on, say, a bodybuilder / powerlifter. Like, I'm never going to you'll never tell me, don't deadlift in my gyms.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I want people to deadlift in my gyms. And if you drop a weight, I'll deal with it. I'll deal with the guy downstairs that's going to ring me up and complain to me. That's my problem, that's not yours. If you drop weights on purpose and stuff like that, I'll tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, take it easy. But if you're doing 200 kilo deadlift and you put it down a little bit hard, good on you.
At least it went up, right?
That's right, it went up and you should be proud of yourself. So I suppose we're all individual and things like that. I do put lifting platforms in my gyms. I have chalk bowls in my gyms. I have things like that, which a lot of people see as messy and stuff like that. But I have a passion for it. I enjoy it. If you don't, if you look after it, I'll look after you guys too, and I'm all for that kind of stuff.
Right. So you still walk around the gym floor a fair bit. So you're one of the owners that are happy to sort of go around, mingle with their members.
Yep.
What's your interaction with your members like? What's the general demographic?
The demographics of the gym change in all of them. Canberra's, your average demographic's probably about 60-40 males to females. 18 to 35-year-olds is probably our biggest demographic, which is pretty normal in our industry.
Do you get asked, from head office to not cater to a specific target?
No, not at all. We definitely I'll let anyone in, but there are rules you've got to obey. Like if you want to leave weights around and throw, I'll tap you on the shoulder. I'm renowned to tap people on the shoulder and ask them if their mum's in. And if they ask me why, and I said, because she's not here to put your weights away, so you better do it. That's usually my line. Because I find I put weights away, I always have, so I expect you to as well.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
It's common courtesy.
Common courtesy. That's literally it. The next person that might walk up might be, a 40 kilo lady that's just started. Yeah. She can't pull 10 plates off a leg press type thing. It's just not fair. So, yeah, just little things like that. If you respect that, I'm all for it.
What do you think of the personal trainers coming into the industry now?
There's some fantastic personal trainers coming into the industry, but there's also some...
I feel very bad for you because this is on film and your reaction then.
It said a lot, didn't it? There's some fantastic trainers out there. There's some very average trainers out there. Right. Like everything. I suppose where my biggest thing when it comes to, say, interviewing personal trainers, my first question is, do you train yourself? If a personal trainer does not train in the gym, to me, he really doesn't have a right to be a personal... Well, I don't understand why he wants to be a personal trainer.
Is that common?
It has come up a few times. I wouldn't call it common, but it's more common than I would have thought it would have been.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it shocked me quite a bit when I say to him, where do you train? Oh, I don't train. And I'm like, okay. So, yeah, interesting. So, little things like that are big warning bells for me,
Because I think it's almost like in any sort of business, you get the experience first, and then you make a decision based off that experience if you want to go into it, right? You think that's a staple.
I have a young personal trainer in my Wangaratta gym. She's 21 years old. She started with us when she was like 19. We're talking a girl that has, Wangaratta's a town of 20,000 people, so it's not a big town, but we're talking a girl that has 55 paid PT sessions a week.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? Killing it, absolutely killing it. And the fact that she does this because she always betters herself. She's always going to courses, she's always trying to learn more about her business. She's not, I've done my PT course now, I'm qualified. Far from it. You know, so...
Do you think that's something that's definitely happened with the industry? Like, for me, on a personal note, I think social media has done that where we try and get recognition by looking like we know everything. You just said it perfectly there. She's going to other courses, she's trying to educate herself further. Do you think that maybe the industry lacks the intent to want to do that?
100%. People think I've done my online PT course, now I'm a qualified PT, the money should come rolling in.
And mind you, the online PT course, it's almost, you knew once about 8 weeks, I think.
You can do it for, like, fit them in as quick as you can.
Long personal trainer.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So, I don't know, like, would you, I can YouTube bloody brain surgery, but I don't think anyone's going to let me have a go, are they? So, there's got to be a little bit more to it. Where I find, we work a fair bit, like, with exercise physiologists and stuff like that. And I know exercise physiologists, obviously a uni degree and stuff like that, but the knowledge they have is like chalk and cheese compared to the knowledge a PT has.
Yeah.
And as I said, a lot of PTs, I would have thought a PT had like, you've trained yourself and you love it and you just love being in a gym environment and you think, I could make a go of this. And you'd go do your course and stuff like that. But I find, obviously the schools, like you're sitting there in year 11 or 12 and you're like, I don't know what to do, like I've got no idea. And your career advisor goes, why don't you do a PT course? And they go, oh yeah, why not? Let's go. Let's give it a go. That's a thing, isn't it? Yeah, I do that. And then you turn up to this course and they say you can make, up to $100 an hour and you think, wow, I'm going to get $100 an hour. I'm going to do this. Guys, I don't get $100 an hour. I don't want to know my hourly rate for the hours I work. So you'll get what you're given out of life. Yeah. Like if you really want to put into it, PT is a great thing. Like I've dealt with some awesome PTs and I've met some great personal trainers, but they all had a passion. They all had the knowledge they had, and the knowledge they brought to the table was amazing. The ones that are basic and that you quickly know. Yeah. One of my things when I interview PTs is asking them to train me. So I usually pick a couple of exercises, and they're usually squats, bench or deadlift. So I'll pick 2 of them, and then I'll walk away and say, put together a circuit, I'll be back in 15 minutes and let's see how you go. I've purposely squatted like an absolute retard, and I've had personal trainers go, well, if that feels comfortable, that's fine. And I think to myself, that's not the answer I was looking for.
Some plates on, brother.
You can do more. Don't worry about your knees. You don't need them. They're not an important part of squats. So little things like that.
They didn't the job, did they?
No. No.
No, I think what you said there is very true. I mean, I remember when I was finishing my degree in exercise science, my friend was doing a PT course at the same time, and his was, I believe, 18 months. Yep. That's how long. This was through CIT. He was doing it. 18 months to get his diploma of Cert 3, Cert 4. And I remember I, at uni, covered that 18 months in one subject. And I thought, this is bullshit, man. He gets to become a personal trainer and I don't. No, dude, you've got another 4 years.
Yeah, but your knowledge is far out.
Yeah, and that's not me saying, you necessarily better, because it's not, not always, anyways. Do you think that they've rushed the courses so much to get more people into the industry? Because, like you said, there's that many gyms now, so there's obviously a demand for personal training.
There's not enough personal trainers out there. Yeah. Well, not enough good ones, I should say. We're always looking for personal trainers.
When it comes to hiring personal trainers, I remember this was Mark's big thing when he was at CIT. He goes, man, gyms look for guys from CIT instead of AIF because we're here for 18 months, whereas they're there for 8 weeks. Does that play a factor in when it comes to hiring?
I've had personal trainers from both.
Yeah.
And I've had good ones from both, and I've had rubbish ones from both.
Yeah.
the biggest thing in play is how much they took in, how much they wanted to learn, and how much they're willing to expand.
This question also is for people out there right now, because obviously Tim does own a whole heap of gyms. If you are looking at becoming a personal trainer, these are some things that a gym owner looks for in wanting to hire someone.
100%. As I say, if you don't like being in a gym, if you don't have a passion for weights and that kind of stuff, you don't have to be a powerlifter, you don't have to be a bodybuilder. You can love HIIT classes, you can love CrossFit, you can love whatever you want, but there has to be a passion for lifting weights, there has to be a passion for doing something. Do you know what I mean? Don't come to me and be a cross-country runner and go, I want to be a personal trainer, because there's really, apart from a treadmill and trying to put on a bit of size to make yourself last longer, there's really nothing in a gym that you can bring to us that you can teach my clients. Very few of my clients want to be cross-country runners, do they?
No.
Do you know what I mean? So you've really got to think about where you want to spend your time. My happiest place is in the gym.
Yeah.
Couldn't sit in one all day. My wife has been known quite a few times to ring me and go, "You coming home today?" And Mr. Cameron will attest to that one.
Oh yeah, all the time.
You're the PA, are you?
Yeah. So I love them. I love them as much as I did when I was 17. I love them as much as I do now. There's no greater place than, sit in the gym and talk to your members and see how they're all training and why they're training, and you should know this stuff.
What's your favourite memory with a gym member?
My favourite
memory. What sort of moments?
I've had lots of them. I've written programs for many guys. Like I've had, this little skinny guy that, walks in and just, I ask everybody, why have you walked in today? If I'm in the chair that day and someone walks in and wants to sign up, I usually ask them, why today? What was different about today? And I've had answers from, we actually saw your car drive past and it made me think about it, to just today's day.
It's working, that's
Yeah. And I thought, all right, so I had this little young fella, skinny little fella, I reckon he would have been about 6 foot and probably 50 kilos. He walked in and with his mum, he was underage, and I said to him, why today? And he kind of looked at me, looked at his mum, and I said, mate, you can say it. I said, it's just me and you here. I said, don't worry about mum. He turns around and goes, I need to get bigger for the girls. I said, that's fine. I said, that's 90% of the time why everyone does it. Yeah, I said to him, So, and this kid was really good. Like, I remember I sat him down on a Saturday, I ran him a program. I'll be honest, guys, my programs are pretty simple. If you want to put size on and strength on it, just write your 5x5 program and off you go.
The basics work.
The big three.
Yeah, the basics work. It's amazing, isn't it? We don't have to stand on our heads and do amazing stuff. So, and this kid got to a point where he was pulling a 200 kilo deadlift within 6 months. Do you know what I mean? And he'd put on about 12 kilos.
Makes me feel like shit.
Yeah. Obviously he was quite natural for it, but, and he loves it. He's still in the gym now. He's just moved to Melbourne and training in the meantime down there. Just loves it.
I think for you, just knowing you've given someone that start.
100%. I've had older ladies come in that didn't even want to look out the office window into the gym. And I say, do we want to go see the gym? No, not yet. I think this is going to be interesting. They're just that uncomfortable. So my staff, I say this to them all the time, don't ever think that people are as comfortable as we are in a gym. Gyms are our normal. We do that every day. So to us, it just looks like a gym. Someone that's never walked in, it just looks like a place where lots of people are sweating, groaning, and all these weird-ass machines that God knows what they do.
Yeah.
It's pretty intimidating.
Look, I remember a story you told me, and I believe you told this to one of your managers at the time. It goes, when someone comes up those stairs, don't think that they made that decision today.
No.
That they've driven past many times just going,
100%.
maybe today's not the day.
No one walks into a gym and just goes, I'm just looking. We don't sell clothes, we don't sell shirts, we actually sell a service. So if someone walks in up those stairs, it's up to us to work out why they've done it. What's their reason for it today, type thing. They've all got a reason. We all had a reason to walk in the gym the first time. As I've said this before, mine was I wanted to lose some weight. I was your typical little wog kid, a little bit chubby, that kind of thing, wanted to lean up. Other guys is they're too skinny. Other guys is, for whatever reason, their confidence. You know, there's nothing better about seeing some little, you know, skinny little fella that sits in the corner, doesn't want to talk to anyone. Talk to him a few times, and then some of the other guys talk to him, and all of a sudden he's one of the bros in the gym.
Yeah.
And loves it. You know, it's his happy place then and stuff like that. So, you know, you've got to talk to everyone.
I think it's good that you have done that though. And I mean, look, this is again just speaking from experience. I still try out different gyms.
Yep.
I mean, it suits my
So do I.
Yeah.
I literally will train anywhere and...
Well, mate, I saw you yesterday at completely other gym, you know? So
Yep.
You know, and when I do it, is I always try, so when I'm guiding people, right? Weeks coming into the show, I always ask people, how are you finding this, you know, experience? Have I done everything good, you know, right as a coach? What could I do better? And I always ask them that, and more often than not, I get the same answer. No, it's been great. I've really enjoyed it. It's because I know on the competition day, if they don't win, I don't want them to reflect back and go, it was his fault.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of gyms now that I feel you go there and you're not greeted as soon as you walk in. You go to training, you know, you're still there by yourself. You want to lift a bit heavy, and there's no one that really wants to give you a hand. The person on gym floor is on their phone. You know, and look, I'm generalizing now, you know.
Yeah, it happens every day. I see it all the time, you know.
What's something that you try and install in yourself?
I mean, I'll be honest, I'll even go to a point where I work in Dixon most Saturdays, and I choose to do that. Keeps me still in the seat, keeps me being able to sell a membership still and do my day-to-day basis. Do I need to? No, I don't. Do I enjoy it? I love every minute of it. Do you know what I mean? And I'll be known to ask every single person that walks in, hey, what are you training today? If you need a spot, come and grab me. Do you know what I mean? Don't be shy. I actually want to get out of this office. You know, I'll make that quite clear. So, because then
They said in the last 5 years, I don't think I've ever been to a gym where someone offers that service every time I walk in.
But I'd rather, I've seen people get stuck under benches many times. You know, I've walked past people, they get stuck under a bench, and you just think, hey, all you have to do is ask. Come and grab one of us. I suppose it was a bit different. That was what was the norm when I first started. You could easily go to the guy next to you, hey, I'm going a bit heavy, can you give me a spot? Or, can I work in with you?
Yeah.
You know, I don't see that as much anymore. I try to push it a little bit more. People aren't quite as receptive as that.
Well, it's almost now, what you just said, that can I work in with you or something? I feel now it's like, hey man, how many more sets have you got? Oh, I've got one or two. I'm going to go off and do something.
Yeah.
You know,
or I'll wait here and you awkwardly sit there and watch the guy and he's like, I'll just do this quickly and take it out of the way. You know, just working with people, it doesn't hurt. It actually, you might get to know the person too.
But it's true, like the gym culture's not there as much as it once was.
Not like that. And I think that was probably as much as the 24-hour model thing is great, it also lacks the fact that we're not staffed as long as we could be and things like that. So it does have its downfalls.
Right.
It has its great moments. But I suppose that's where you should lean towards some of your fellow members. Usually the same people train at the same time every day.
Yeah.
Same people in the gym. You know, I can tell you at 3 a.m. it's going to be the same bunch of guys in the gym and girls every day. Occasionally you'll get a newbie, but, you know.
It's pretty stock standard.
It's pretty stock standard.
Well, my next question for you is actually the evolution of this industry. Now, social media does play a very, very big role. What are your thoughts on social media and the role it currently plays as a gym owner and trying to get people into a gym?
Social media is enormous. We all love it. There's no doubt about it. And I suppose the biggest thing with social media, and I'll say this to anyone out there, is don't think that it's real. Like if everyone puts only their good points of life in social media, no one puts the hard stuff. You know, I'm not very big on social media myself. Like I try to keep it a little bit personal, but that's me. You know, I'm just that kind of person. If you know me, you'll know everything about me, but personally. But if you don't know me, I'm not going to put it on social media.
So when you first started in 2014, I don't think social media was as prominent.
I can honestly say things like Facebook and Instagram have changed and change every 6 to 8 months. We have to reassess how we do things. What we could spend on Facebook even 12 months ago, we could spend a fraction of what we spend today to get the same kind of reach.
Yeah, right.
And it's just the way it's evolving and stuff like that. I know some crazy stats, like I think Instagram is now 1 in 2 Australians. So half of Australia have Instagram now. you know, and that will overtake Facebook within this year. So just little stats like that tells you how.
Are they owned by the same?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
But Facebook is becoming a little bit more of an advertising platform than it is, you know, like I think a lot of businesses are using it to advertise on. It's still cheap to advertise on Facebook.
Yeah, right.
It won't be. Another year or two and it'll be expensive. But
So when you started advertising your gym, what were the things? Radio, paper?
radio, paper, pamphlets. Let's not do any of them anymore because they're an absolute waste of time. Like pamphlet drops are like.
Well, that's what I was going to ask, because you're better off now investing into that.
100% social media.
Because I think that's where the audience is now, right?
It is. And you can pay for your audience to see you.
Yeah.
So, and that's all it is. Like, we all do this. Like, I sat down here and said, I'm putting my phone under there because it's not going to shut up. And I know that. My phone doesn't stop. Most people's phones don't stop. We're on them all the time.
Yeah.
You know, whether we like them or we're not, it's a great part of our lives. Like, I couldn't live without it, and I think most people can't. I'm not saying just because from a business owner's point of view, just it's so good having your whole life
Just
at the
there.
palm of your hand. Let's be honest, we'd all rather lose our wallets than our phones. Like, what's in our wallets these days? Not much.
Hey, man, on that note, if anyone wants to sponsor this podcast, no, it's very true though, isn't it? Everyone sort of, and you know what, you can do everything on your phone now. You can pay for things, you can book flights, you can interact with anyone around the world. We just spoke about this off camera. In your generation, when you started training, everyone wanted to be the biggest, everyone wanted to be the strongest. When did you think that changed? And what do you think changed that?
Well, I think a lot of it, like when I first started training, you basically had a couple of federations. So you had the IFBB and you had NALA. And that was pretty much it. Now, they were always the biggest guys, the professionals, and like, you know, it was a freak show. It still is. I think with a lot of the natural competitions coming in, like the natural federations made a big deal because it made it more attainable to the average person. To be 140 kilos on stage ripped, obviously you're chemically enhanced. There's no way you're pulling that off. Like, sorry boys and girls if I'm bursting your bubble, but you're not standing on stage at 140 kilos with abs on aminos.
I will never forget how heartbroken I was when the guy that I idolized got done for drugs, you know, just done for steroids. I'm like, and I'm defending this guy at school, you're an idiot, man. That's natural. I can do that.
Yeah.
Nope.
So, the good thing about the natural comps, it has made it attainable to everyone. And when I say attainable, anyone can do it.
Yeah.
If you want to train, diet, you can do it.
Well, it's there for that reason.
Does it take 6 months? No. It takes years. You know yourself.
Yeah.
Nothing can be, like, I suppose the biggest misconception I see in our industry is that, you know, I see young guys that go, I just did my first comp, I won my first comp, I'm thinking I'll be pro in the next 3 years. And you think, wow. Pro. And I think, I personally would say anything you do in life, whether it's business, whether it's your pro career, or whatever, 10 years.
Yeah.
Minimum of 10 years. You need 10 years to work it all out because you won your first show. You know what, it was probably a strong show, you did well and you looked fantastic. But I'm sure we've all turned up to shows where you've stood on stage and just gone, where the hell did that guy come from? Like, you know what I mean?
Nationals 2018.
Exactly.
Nationals 2016.
Well, everyone's done it, and I'm not going to sit here and say, there's always someone out there that's going to be hungrier than you, that's going to train harder than you, diet harder than you, probably took stuff that you didn't.
Yeah.
So, I suppose the biggest thing I see today that is a little bit disappointing, because I love our industry and I'm very happy with it and I think it's great what most people do, but I just think guys should train a little bit more on their own for a while, like without the chemical enhancement. It's a little bit too, you know, you join a gym, you buy gear. At the same time, let's do it. It shouldn't be like that.
The upsell.
It's not from us. It shouldn't be like that. Like even in my day, if you didn't have 5 or 6 years under your belt of completely, you know, egg whites and chicken breast and broccoli and rice and, you know, tuna, I still gag when I smell tuna. Like pure cat food in my eyes. If you can't do that for 4 or 5 years, I don't think you've got a right to like be in the industry.
Yeah.
I don't think you should be there. Because if you can't do something, it's a lifestyle. It's not, you don't become a bodybuilder for 2 years because it's cool and all your mates are doing it. It should be something you've done your whole life. Like, as I said, I started when I was like 16. I'm 45, and I still train a minimum of 4 or 5 times a week. And I probably have not taken off more than 2 weeks at a time, and I've probably done that a handful of times in all that time.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you think it is because of social media that makes it almost look like it's, not say too achievable, because it's achievable by all
It is achievable, but it just takes longer. And I think the biggest thing social media portrays is that everybody looks like that at all times. No one puts their social media photos up when they're a little bit soft and spongy, do they? Pale, you know, pasty.
Soft, spongy, just melt down.
Or bloated.
Do you know what I mean?
Or something.
And we're definitely not all Calvin Von Munger that can eat 6 hamburgers and still look the way he does.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's freaks out there that can do anything. But the average person has to try damn hard to do what he does. You know, the average person, I still believe like the average guy that can get on the stage is 95% ahead of the greater population. Do you know what I mean? He looks better, he's stronger, he's healthier. So you should be very proud of what you do.
Absolutely.
You know, I'll never tell anyone not to compete. If you want to compete, go for it. Best thing you can do. If you've got it in you, you should at least try one show. You know, it's a big learning curve.
What's like with gym members when they say they want to compete? Do you have a lot of people that
It's getting bigger and bigger. I find the females, I get a lot more girls saying, I want to compete, which is great. I mean, some of the, you know, the bikini categories and some of the other categories that aren't as muscular has done that, which I think is fantastic. I get quite a kick out of seeing more girls in the gym now, because when I was in the gym, it was purely guys. You know, you'd get the occasional girl, but our gyms back then were all the girls piled in, did the aerobics class and left.
Yeah.
You know, did the step class in their like fluorescent leotards and walked out again. That was it back then. Whereas now there's girls in the weight room, which is fantastic. They should be. You know, so, but I still get it pretty much every week. I want to train, but I don't want to get too big. It's not going to happen to us. Does not happen by accident.
You know what? I really wish it was that easy.
I wish it was too. You know, I wish all it took was an extra set of deadlifts and we were enormous.
For me, 10 years of training later, I still look like stay at one of the gyms
you know.
But it's good that, I guess, like you said, like it's diverse now.
It is.
It's diverse when it comes to men and women in the gym. When it comes to people competing, do you try and sit those guys down because you can relate? You get a bit more?
I try to sit everyone down, and I usually say, if you ever want to compete, come and see me.
Yeah.
You know, and I ask them why they want to compete, what they expect to get out of it. If you get a guy that goes, I want to win, it looks like it's probably the wrong. You don't have that. You know, that's not your choice, unfortunately. As much as you might be the best on the day that you've looked, you don't know how good
that's
those guys are.
subjective nature of the beast.
That's right. So I'll always say to people, just do the very best you can, be very proud of what you've achieved. Now, if you can say this is the very best I've looked, and I came 2nd or 5th or whatever it was, you've done damn well. Be proud of yourself. You know, you pulled off the best you could look, or the best you have looked. You could go forward, you can do more comps, or you can just say, you know what, tried it, that was enough for me.
Are you happy with the industry is in Canberra?
Yep, I reckon our industry is very healthy in Canberra.
Yeah.
I love it. I reckon even our comps, you know, one of the biggest reasons I sponsored the comp this year for that reason.
It's the ICM comp in March.
I had gone to a couple of them. Nick's doing great things with it. He really, really loves the industry, and you can tell.
I think when Nick's passionate about something, he really does.
He does. He puts his effort into it.
And I feel that the ICN is definitely on the up. I mean,
100%.
This is probably the first time in 4 years I think we're going to sell a show out, which is
it's attainable, and that's what a lot of people see. As much as I go to the Arnold Classic every year, and I buy my tickets to the Pro Show every year, and I love it. It's what gets me so excited, you know. Seeing a pro bodybuilder in the flesh is like nothing else.
It's pretty cool.
But you also look at him and you just think, you're a freak.
Yeah.
You know, you're an absolute freak. So, is that attainable for the average person? No. It's not. Like, would I love to look like that? Yeah, 100%. I don't have the genetics to look like that. I'm not willing to put the chemicals in me to look like that. I'm not willing to, you know, it's just what step are you willing to do? A lot of it's genetics.
I feel it's all genetics.
Like, at that level it is.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys are literally the best of the best.
Best of the best. You know, they can look at a bloody plate and they grow.
So, looking at it now, there's a whole heap of gyms in Canberra. What would your advice be to anyone who, I guess, has the idea of wanting to open their own gym?
Start with a large fortune, and I'll guarantee you'll make a small one out of it. No, seriously. All seriousness. I suppose you've really got to sit back and go, why am I going to be any different? Yeah. You know, like, and to say that I'm going to paint my stuff blue, you know, and have the coolest lights and, you know, the best air conditioning and all that is not enough. It's not what people come for. Like, at the end of the day, if it's not convenient and it's not easy to get to, people won't do it.
Yeah.
You know, to have a person that comes 20 minutes every day to drive to you to train at your gym, he's going to do it either for a very small amount of time, or it's going to be like a handful of members that do that. It's not going to be the norm. So you've really got to sit down and look at where you want to open, what you want to open, and why am I going to be different. And as I said, to say that they'll come because they want me, that's not enough. They don't. There's only a handful of people that actually like to come see me. You know, the rest are just want a gym.
Yeah.
So the rest couldn't make it less who I am.
Well, mate, I'd like to think that I'm one of the people who would come to see you. Mate, I think it's very interesting to see what you've done, especially starting from where you were to where you are now. We're at 6, we will be at 10 within 15 years. It's got to happen. It has to happen.
I'd probably like to think there'll be one every year now for a fair few years. Just keep growing it. I'm very lucky in that my wife is just as passionate as I have, and I have my 18-year-old daughter is just as passionate about it too. So I can see this going for quite some time for us.
Yeah.
As long as the industry allows us to go. I can't see the industry shrinking. It never has. I've sat down with people that have been in the industry for a very long time, and they've always said it to me. We've been waiting for this bubble to burst. It's never burst. It slows down sometimes, it speeds up, but it just keeps growing because our population keeps growing. We have bigger health issues, we have bigger, you know, where we don't move as much as we used to and things like that. So I think people are just trying to get healthier.
Absolutely.
So,
do you have anything out there for anyone who is not a part of a gym yet as to why they should step into one of yours?
Not just my gym, any gym. You step into it because will make you healthier. As much as I'll say to people, if you don't have a health issue today, if you're 20 years old, drinking every weekend, smoking, having a laugh, you know, taking drugs, party drugs and having a great time, you've got nothing to worry about. No 20-year-old goes, you know, you're bulletproof at that age. We all were. But when you turn 40 and things aren't working as good as they used to, you just think to yourself, well, I've left it too late. And sometimes you have. Whereas if you can start when you know, you don't need too much. I say to people, consistency, 3 times a week. If you can give me 3 times a week, 45 minutes each time, you'll see results. It'll make you a better person. You'll feel better, you'll look better, your mental health will be better. What a gym can do for your mental health is next level. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, people will sit at home, I'm bored, I'm this, I'm lonely, no one wants to talk to me and that. Go to a gym. You know, don't put headphones on, guys. Talk to the person next to you. Everyone wants to talk.
Yeah.
Even the guys with headphones. I've been known lots of times to tap people on the shoulder on the treadmill and go, hey, what are you doing this weekend? You know? They're like, is he really talking to me? Is he really like... But I've never had someone say, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to have a chat.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
What's the kindest thing someone's ever told you at the gym?
Even just the other day, I just like being told our gyms look good. They're clean, you know, they're tidy, things like that. For me, I'm a little bit of a sucker, and anyone knows that's been in my gyms or has worked for me. If I find a 1.25 kilo plate under 420 kilo plates, those 420 kilo plates are moving. You've got to save that little sucker. He's got to get out. Do you know what I mean? So things should be put away well. Like, you should be able to walk into a gym and go, this place looks cool. You know, like that to me, I've walked into heaps of gyms and just gone, it's a brothel in here.
Yeah.
You know, whereas I've walked into lots of gyms and gone, you know, this guy knows what to do.
Yeah.
You know, so that's all it is. I get quite a kick out of it when people enjoy their environment. You know, because they have choice. They can go anywhere. They don't have to come to my gym. So yeah, that's the biggest thing.
No, that's awesome, man. Well, look, what we'll do is we'll chuck the links to Tim's gyms down the bottom of this description box. If you haven't got a gym membership yet, or if you want to check out either Dixon or Charnwood, I really would recommend that you do. Like I said, the lights at Charnwood are awesome, especially when you get lean, comp season's around the corner.
We have anabolic lighting.
Anabolic lighting, that's the one. And if you are in the city area, Dixon is a fantastic gym as well. Tim, I can't thank you enough for joining us today. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure, guys. My pleasure. And guys, if you want to see me, Saturday in Dixon.
Saturday in Dixon.
11 till 3, I'm always there.
He's there,
All right.
he's signing stuff, and he's... Nah.
I'm always there, I'm up for a chat. You know, pick my brain about anything.
Absolutely. And you know what, if you guys are coming to the ICN ACT show this March 30th, Tim will be there.
I'll be there.
Anytime Charnwood and Dixon have been kind enough to sponsor this event to help our natural athletes with their journey on stage and the event itself. So by all means, have a chat with Tim there. He's always happy for a chat.
Always up for a chat. If you want to talk about business, tap my wife on the shoulder. She'll be next to me.
Thanks for coming on, Tim.
No worries, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Tim.